This is a testimonial for Amanda's light language healing sessions. I found Amanda because I was looking for someone, a spiritual guide, to help me deal and cope with some of the emotions and experiences that came up as a result of me going through spiritual awakening. Light language sessions that Amanda offered. This was a new experience for me totally. But when I saw her on social media, she somehow inspired my confidence, and I saw her immediately as someone who has knowledge, courage, care, and she was an experienced healer. That's how I perceive her. Now, let's first I want to talk a little bit about the spiritual awakening that was happening to me, and why this the some of the happenings took me to seek help with Amanda. Look, with spiritual awakening, there's different connotations to that, but everybody experiences spiritual awakening differently, and it's really not a straightforward process. It's not an immediate process. It's like things are unfolding and resurfacing, and it can be a very intense process and a very lonely one. And especially if it hits you like a sack of potatoes out of the corner, you don't know what is happening with you. All you know is you wake up or you live your life differently. You go through different mystic experiences one after another. And basically, when I say spiritual awakening, I would say, call it as a change in perception. Say your old perception, something that you were committed to experiencing and perceiving and feeling and thinking in the past, now suddenly shifted into something different. Different perception, different feelings, different ideas. So that's how I define spiritual awakening, as a change in perception. Now, the role of light language healer and the guidance, that's what I found working with Amanda, was very important if you're going through this experience, because a lot of the transformations, as you going through the change of perception or what you normally thought yourself to be, to experiencing yourself and your consciousness differently, these transformations, transmutations, happenings, occurrence can be very difficult and confusing. And this is one of the things that I struggled with. One thing that was really bugging me was that I was feeling abnormal. I was feeling like a freak with all these mystical experiences that were happening in my life, but it's not how I was used to perceiving myself. I have a regular job, family, hobby, friends, and I live my normal existence. And suddenly you start living between two worlds, the world of spirit and the real world, something that you are used to. And you are trying to reconcile this new you and connect the two worlds together. At the same time, learning more and more about the spirit world. So, as I said, spiritual awakeness, according to me, is about the change of perception when you feel, sense, and know more than what you used to be. Part of spiritual experience, awakening, was experiencing more aspects of yourself, your own consciousness, and your own energy. So, what I found was that constriction and expansion are important processes of spiritual awakening. As part of spiritual awakening, I was going through intense processes of constriction and expansion. It's basically when you take a deep breath in, but every time you take a deep breath in, you expand more and you constrict more every time because more breath is going out. The more expansion was happening, the bigger constriction was coming. It's like you oscillate on the biggest scales between two enormous realities. Then you are in a balance, and then oscillation again. And then expansion you experience is when you are in line or exist in the realm of high vibration. And the constriction you experience, you fall into existence of low vibration and density. Now, where does Amanda come into this? I call Amanda an urban monk, as I call so many people like myself, who experience spiritual awakening while they're working their full-time jobs, raising children, and doing all this important stuff. So Amanda is like this. She she has 3 children. She runs her healing business. She has a partner, the whole household, just like me. That's how I connected. And she is also looking after the spiritual aspect of her. And look, we go to work, we're involved, engaged with our daily lives. Some of us are building a business. And as spiritual monks or herbal monks, we and Amanda is doing it so beautifully, integrating these things into our lives. It's like with the spiritual awakenings, there is more of us happening. There are more aspects of us, and there are more aspects of us. Yes, they enrich our life, but at the same time, there is a need of integration and growing, and we are going to go through some growing pains. So through her media experience, Ramanda's media post, I saw that she was busy with exactly the same things that I was busy with. But at the same time, she was doing this big chunk of her life involved and engaged with the spiritual world and more the world that of a different kind of perception. Now, let me tell you about what happened in each session. As I said, I had 3 of those sessions. So, in the first session, Amanda brought in energies that helped me clear some blocks and denser energies that were occupying some areas of my body. She worked through chakras, and if anything was needed to be healed, she was just going through that. This allows this allowed me to unload what no longer served. Then she brings in higher frequencies and codes that will serve you now. It's a really cool process. And my first session was very calming. I had another constriction after the first session, but because I experienced the first light language healing session, during the constriction, I felt very calm and remained centered. Now, the results of my second sessions were mind blowing. It was a deeply healing and enlightening experience. After this session, I had another major mystical experience. And that experience alone helped me to consolidate big chunks of work that I wasn't sure about in how I work with energy and serve greater purpose in the unfolding of collective processes and growing consciousness as a community. And I'm sure, had I not had that second session, I wouldn't have come to this major, massive realization that are connected to my own purpose and my contribution to the larger purpose of the new earth. On this, then there was a third session, and something different happened in the third session. There was less clearing of the denser energies, but I was made assured about the spiritual support network that was there for me personally. And this, because of that assurance, I think what happened after the session has a greater meaning. So after the session, I went independently through a deeper ancestral healing of the paternal wounds in my bloodline, which I had no idea about. I had no idea how to heal those wounds. I was just there and the things were happening by themselves. It was a very intense experience after the session. But Amanda checked with me and she supported me every step of the way. And this reassurance was valuable. Look, I know it's a long testimonial, but there are bits and pieces there that might be difficult to understand. But I think Amanda deserves the long testimonial because it incorporates a lot of my own experience with what Amanda is doing. And I hope it gives you a better understanding, an idea how Amanda can be of immense and beautiful use and support for you if you're going through something similar. We really need spiritual guides like Amanda. And if you're looking for guidance like this, you're feeling alone or confused, she can help you. Remember, you are not alone. A lot of people now are going through giant evolutionary jumps and evolving into spiritual beings more so when we're embodying the light and higher selves and embodying the center of us, which is light and information, and becoming more present for what is within and without. And our bodies are also transforming to accommodate for this evolution. It can be a confusing process, but there are spiritual guides like this out there. Connect with Amanda. She is a great listener. She will listen with the purpose to understand and help.